there, it's Darcy Sullivan from the Clinic Marketing Podcast and Propel Marketing and Design. Before we dive into today's episode, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to a brand new, limited time, on-demand webinar called How to Dominate Google Search, Google Maps, and AI-driven search results. This is designed just for clinics. In just 1 hour, you'll get a roadmap for boosting your online visibility, making sure people near you find your clinic first, all without paying for ads. You'll also walk away with a free patient-centered SEO action plan. If you've ever felt buried in the Google results or puzzled about how to rank higher for your targeted keywords, this webinar is for you. Register now by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn or grab the link in the show notes. Getting seen is step one. Getting picked is the win. Today, we're going to walk through how to turn Google views, map views, AI mentions, and website traffic into booked appointments using the 2026 conversion factors every clinic can implement. Hi, it's Darcy. Welcome to the Clinic Marketing Podcast. Rankings matter, but conversions keep the lights on. We're translating the 2026 conversion factors into 5 practical moves: proof, availability, clarity, experience, and momentum. Take note, I'll give you quick wins. Let's get started. Let's start with proof. Proof includes reviews, sentiments, and media that make you the obvious choice when people are searching online. Why does this matter? People don't read everything. They skim stars, scan a few recent reviews, glance at photos, and decide. Here's the thing. That does not discount having quality, detailed content. Just because somebody skims through information does not mean that you only need to supply and have available those high-level proof key items. Here are some of the top factors. I think everybody understands the importance of having a high number of positive Google reviews, but third-party ratings also matter, the reviews that are outside of Google. Other key factors are positive sentiments in the actual review text and keywords that are in those reviews. Quantity of native Google reviews with text, meaning they actually have words, and recency of those reviews. So it's not just that they're giving you a 5-star review. They're giving details about their experience. There's the diversity and quantity on other sites. Those can include Facebook, Yelp, and other review sites. There are owners' responses to most of the reviews. There are reviews with photos and videos and answers. Those also add authority. And authority sites hosting reviews, the authority of these sites. So these aren't just some low-level sites that are showcasing your reviews. They're quality. So what can you do this week to focus on proof? Well, when you ask for reviews, you can also ask that they mention what you treated and potentially the neighborhood that they came from. You can rotate your second review request every month to a niche location to build diversity. Again, that might be your yellow pages your YP.com listing. It might be Yelp. It might be Facebook. It might be something other than Google. You can reply to every review within 2 to 3 days. Keep it short, kind, and specific. And if you're looking to fast track your responses to reviews, give a listen to the AI hacks that we gave in one of the recent episodes for your Google Business Profile listing. One of those hacks includes an AI hack for responding to reviews in a very timely and yet specific manner. And you can also then feature these reviews on specific pages on your website. We talk about this time and time again. So, for instance, if you are a chiropractor and outside of offering general chiropractic care, let's just say you offer dry needling, on your dry needling page, highlight the reviews from people who actually came in for dry needling. Or on your back pain page, highlight those patient stories that where you have helped people that have those specific conditions. Let's talk about move number 2, availability. This includes proximity, hours, and the ease of booking an appointment. Now, why does this matter? Well, drop-off happens when somebody can't tell exactly where you're located, when you're open, and there is friction when it comes to booking an appointment. When it comes to your Google Maps ranking, proximity to where the searcher is looking and the address that they are searching for matter. Obviously, your location is your location, and that's not as easy to change. But we want to make sure that we do address the items that we can address. For instance, your openness. So I always suggest to people if they close for lunch, for example, that they don't list their hours as open from 8 to 11 and then 1 to 5. Instead, that they just keep it consistent, 8 to 5. Because if somebody is searching during the time that you have your office as being closed, there is a chance that your competition is going to outrank you, at least in Google Maps. And the reason for that is because they're open. So openness matters. We need to make sure that on your Google Business Profile, and of course, all of your other listings, that your name, your address, and phone number are listed correctly, and that you have the correct map pin in your Google Business Profile listing. Again, that you make it as easy as possible for somebody to book an appointment with you. We like to suggest that on your website that you have a very obvious button that says book now or request an appointment that goes to a page that's either dedicated to them making an appointment or gives them specific directions on how to make an appointment. So what actions can you take this week? Well, audit your Google Business Profile and make sure that your hours match your correct hours, that your map pin matches correctly, that all of your NAP, your name, address, and phone number are congruent throughout all of your online listings, and make sure that it's as easy and frictionless as possible for somebody to book an appointment with you when they land on your website or even through your Google Business Profile listing. The next move relates to clarity. Clarity on your services, your focus, and your location. Why does this matter? Well, confusion kills conversions. That's right. Let me repeat that. Confusion kills conversions. So keep things clear, scannable, and make sure that you have service-specific pages that are detailed. That will help you win in rankings. So you want to make sure that for each of your services, you have a dedicated page. And I'm not just talking about a page that has a sentence or two on it, but a detailed page. And this is one of the reasons that within our DIY program, the Ready, Set, Rank program, we include specific page templates to help you write these pages. You can learn more about that program via visiting propelyourcompany.com, and we'll include a link to that program also in the show notes and blog post associated with this episode. You want to make sure that your content is structured the right way, meaning that you have your proper title tags, that your content is easy to scan, that it includes internal links when it makes sense. You want to make sure that you are using the right geographical keywords for relevance and that you include FAQ on specific services pages and that you have answered the Q&A on your Google Business Profile. When it comes to your Google Business Profile, again, when it comes to services, you want to make sure that you have services listed and that you have selected the proper Google Business Profile category and additional relevant categories, that you're not just going rogue and selecting everything and anything, that you are being very specific with this. So what are the actions that you can do this week to assist with this? Well, hopefully you can go through and check out your website for the ease of use. You can make sure that you have dedicated services pages or that you have a plan in place to highlight those dedicated services pages. Again, if you want a resource for that, please check out our Ready, Set, Rank program, as we do include the templates for those specific pages, or you can always book a discovery call with us if you want further assistance with creating content with your website. Next up, experience. Move number 4, experience. This means that you are providing a good user experience on your website. This includes speed, mobility, use, meaning that it's easy to use on mobile devices, that visually it's appealing, and that you include trust cues. This is important because your site and your online profiles, if they feel slow, if they feel generic or sketchy, people are going to leave them. So we want to make sure throughout your website that you are using proper SEO. And we talk about SEO a ton throughout different episodes. And you can visit propelyourcompany.com to find specific blog posts related to how to optimize your website. So I don't want to go into complete SEO 101 for on-page activities, but I do want to highlight that here. Again, you want to make sure that your website is mobile friendly, that it loads quickly, that even when you are using high quality photos and videos, that your photos are sized appropriately, and that your videos typically should be embedded. So you should have them on YouTube and then embed them on your website. Don't just load them to your website. When you do that, you run the chance and the risk of really slowing down your website. You also, again, want to make sure that you have those services pages that we talked about. And when it comes to your Google Business Profile listing, you want to make sure, again, you list those services and that you also include your social media profile links in your Google Business Profile. That helps Google understand more about your services you're offering and who you are. As always, you want to make sure that your website is set up with proper site architecture and that you include those internal links. So what actions could you take this week? Well, you could go through your website and switch out some of those stock photos that we see everywhere with properly sized images that are real from your clinic or team photos, and make sure that you add the alt text when you're uploading those images, that they are compressed so that they are not huge. You also want to make sure that you add a Google Map embed on your website. And then on your Google Business Profile, make sure that you're using authentic photos that really highlight your clinic. And again, link to your other social media profiles. In your Google Business Profile listing, there is a spot where you can just jump in and do that. Next, move number 5 is all about momentum, freshness, keeping your post fresh, Q&A, and consistency. Recency signals matter. And that's why momentum and consistency matters. Consistency builds confidence. So you want to make sure with your website that you are consistent with adding new content to it. You want to make sure that when it comes to your Google Business Profile listing and your other reviews listings, that you're not getting just a flash influx of reviews and content, that it's not just these crazy bursts, that you're steady, steady, Freddy, however that goes, with the content and the reviews that are coming in, that when it comes to posts on social media profiles, again, that you have a consistency to them. When it comes to your Google Q&A on your Google Business Profile listing, you can start with those owner-seated questions. Again, that AI episode that we did about AI hacks for your Google Business Profile listing, give that a listen because we give some really helpful tips in there about how to leverage AI for your Google Business Profile Q&A. And again, we want to make sure that you really are being consistent with your Google Business Profile listing and your website, that you're just not setting and forgetting it. If you have not taken the time to complete your Google Business Profile listing, that is an absolute must. You must have it complete before you can be consistent with it. And make sure that you are fighting any spam if you do have any negative reviews that are absolutely absurd, whether they're spammy or what have not, that you have reported those. So what can you do this week? Well, you can give your Google Business Profile listing, again, a once over and make sure you are being consistent with that. You can ask for new reviews. You can audit your Google Business Profile listing. And if you feel like you need help with that, please check out our Google Business Profile audits. You can simply purchase one of those and we'll take care of things for you. So that is it for this episode. And if you want more information about what was covered in this episode, please be sure to check out the blog post in the show notes related to this episode. Thanks so much for your time today.